So joining us from Europe is Daniel Lacalle, chief economist with Tressis Hedge Fund, where he manages over $6 billion of assets. Lacalle also wrote The Energy World is Flat, so the perfect guy to speak to about the energy problems in Europe and globally, frankly. Daniel, great to see you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Daniel, we see Germany yesterday, now reports of Italy setting up for taking in liquefied natural gas from places like Qatar as they reduce their reliance on Russia. What exactly does that mean for industries like fertilizers and food that rely on cheap gas?
hmm One of the big problems of the European energy policy is that because it's so dependent on renewables that are intermittent and volatile and depend on climate, is that when demand rises, the use of natural gas has to increase rapidly. And in the current environment, that situation happens exactly when demand is soaring and hence prices are going up. So one of the big problems for Europe is that competitiveness of many of these industries is suffering immensely. And we are seeing rise in food prices, rise in obviously electricity and natural gas prices for households, but an entire domino effect on industries and businesses. It's very, very complicated.
So when you say competitiveness, Daniel, do you feel Europe may lose some industry? But everywhere is feeling inflation, energy inflation, right? Or is Europe feeling it particularly bad?
Europe is feeling it particularly bad because, first, energy prices in euros are higher than in dollars because the euro has weakened relative to the dollar. Second, because natural gas prices in Europe have risen significantly more than in the United States. Second, because of taxes. For example, everybody in the United States is concerned about the price of gas at these levels. However, in the European Union, it's about 3 times more expensive in some cases. No, so the big problem for the European Union is that many industries are being delocalized, and that many industries simply cannot start. We are seeing in some countries, in Italy, you mentioned, in Germany as well, in France and in Spain, that some industries have had to shut down operations because of the extremely high cost of electricity and natural gas, which is, and I come back to that point, significantly higher than in the United States.
So let's say Europe reduces the reliance on Russian gas through the pipeline. We start to take liquefied natural gas in through cargo ships. I assume these ships are high CO2 emissions. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do we run the risk of running afoul of authorities or maybe climate advocates there?
It's a good point. It's interesting to see how Europe has got itself in this big problem because of a misguided green energy policy by putting too much exposure on volatile and intermittent energies like solar and wind, which are necessary, but they're definitely not working all of the time. What happens is that in periods like this, you rely more not just on natural gas coming from ships and liquefied natural gas, also from coal. Germany is restarting some of its old coal plants. So the problem with liquefied natural gas is obvious. The first one is that it's significantly more expensive. We're talking about 10 times in some cases more expensive than Russian pipe gas. The second is availability. The problem is having enough vessels and enough ships to deliver the amount of liquefied natural gas that offsets the 150 BCM per year that Europe imports from Russia. That is extremely expensive. It's about, in many cases, 10 times more expensive than Russian pipe gas. And also, it's not easy to find enough vessels to bring gas from regions like Qatar or like Algeria. It's very, very complicated. And it's not an easy option because I come back to the point. point. The pipe natural gas supply is significantly cheaper and easier to deliver than liquefied natural gas, and on top of it, availability of vessels is limited and obviously significantly more expensive.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, leave your comments below, and keep defending freedom. Thank you very much.